Sony vibing on OSRS? Oh, it's like, what the fuck? Sit back and relax. Bro, Sony looks like a bot. What is this armor he has on? What? Plasma, stay there, resub. Guys, RuneScape is an iconic game. Legendary game. I mean, the music of it, the feel of it. Insane. When are we playing Sushi? If I play RuneScape, are you gonna help me? Guys, Sushi's a RuneScape player. What is the move here? This guy's dead as hell here. What is he doing? What? Hardcore group Iron Man with Sushi? Is Soda good at RuneScape? Every time I see this guy's just dying. He has no idea what's going on. Do you know how the game was like? What is this? Wait, how does lethal tempo work? What does lethal tempo even do? Stacks over time? I thought lethal tempo doesn't do anything until it's fully stacked. Or does it? Whoa, what's... This is bot lane roleplay? Bro, what is this house they're in? What is this mansion? What is this? Dude, one thing I've noticed is like, as I'm older, if you guys are crawling on your knees somewhere, how bad does that hurt you doing that? Like especially if you're watching like the hub or something and you see videos of people like doing it like in the kitchen or like on the floor and shit, there is no way that's comfortable at all, right? Like that's completely uncomfortable. Like if I had to walk on my knees for even half a second, I'm in massive amounts of pain. I don't know how that's... So that's actually a real crazy thing that these people really have strong, body parts like that, because there's no way I could do that. Instant pain. Instant. Pika has a question. What is this? I don't even know what I'm talking about here. Patient, thinking that prime sub. Just gonna skip that. Should we go back and queue out of D4? Wait, what is this Miz clip? Wait, is this guy at the NFL event? Yeah, he can't say that on broadcast. Damn. Damn. I'm liking what this guy's saying. I'm liking what I'm hearing here. True. Yep. Everybody. It's crazy. Absolutely insane. Guys, that's Ben.
Even if I say it'll be alright, still I hear you say,
Damn.
you want to end your life. Now again we try.
Bro, how can all chicks sing, bro? How is this possible? Pika Crush, what is this?
You wanna play League? I'm just kidding.
Don't ever say that. I never want to play. I low-key have a crush on Pikaboo right now. Alright. Let me...
I've never seen Civ smile or laugh. Oh my god. That's insane. 20 minutes instead of a stealth camp with Steve. What is even happening with PirateSoftware? Just get a quick little update. I'm ready to hate today. This video was good. Becoming a reaction. We had some reacts. Optical, hopefully life is good. They got 20 gifted. That's crazy.
Jad here.
Team fight breakdown with Jad 8 years ago.
Well,
What is this?
I'm a tough guy. You feeling lucky? Yeah, that's right. Spirit fingers. Do you know why? Because it's been about 30 hours since I last slept, and I've done 3 different intros, all of which crash and burned, and I am off my gourd, so now I'm going wacko mode. But, even in my sleep-deprived state, I am still lucid enough to recognize how cattywampus the AAA gaming space has become. Like, the gaming industry has so many things that I have bitched and moaned about. Probably the biggest practice that I've been most vocal about, not exactly shy on, is the topic of you will own nothing and be happy. The Ubisoft motto. God rest that company's soul. What a pile of dog shit. But it's not just Ubisoft. That has become a prevalent business strategy across the gaming industry.
What does that mean?
You will own nothing. You will be happy. You're basically... You come away with the idea of ownership of whatever games you purchase.
Is that
I've worn this
microtransactions or
topic
something?
out more than a fleshlight in a frat house, but it is something I am very passionate about. The gaming industry is getting away with more and more garbage where they'll take a shit in your mouth and you're expected to thank them for adding some flavor to your taste buds. It's terrible. And there is an initiative that has been aiming to fight back against a lot of these practices that I think really need some big overhaul. And it's an initiative that I think a lot of you are probably very familiar with. It's called Stop Killing Games. And I've followed it since its inception. I've talked about it on stream quite a few times.
You guys are saying shutting down games after a while so you can't play it even though you pay for it. What games does this happen to? You don't own games, you pay for access to it? Has this happened to a game you've played? Why does anyone care about this?
This is my first video
Okay, let's just see.
going over it. And I regret that now because I see it wasn't going as well as I thought it was. Admittedly, I didn't follow how successful the initiative was, only that it was aiming to do good for consumers, and that it was taking proper steps legally to get there, and it was going through all of the right channels. And now today I watched a video from the guy that's spearheading this. His name is Ross. He posted a video called The End of Stop Killing Games where he's giving an update on where everything's at and how...
So is PirateSoftware involved in this? Just because it isn't happening now doesn't mean it isn't starting. Switch 2, if you buy the console, it's still not yours. All the games you buy, they are not yours. Many games, if you own a Nintendo DS and you own games on their shop instead of physical, all those games are lost to you now. Every WoW expansion has done this to you. I just don't see why anyone would give a fuck about this.
Now it's kind of at the finish line here with a lot of failure to show for it.
We'll see
with
what they
only
say.
a few other chances to fight back. Now, before getting into the weeds on the topic, I want to get this in the beginning because I imagine the vast majority of people won't watch the whole thing. I'm putting a link to the full video on Stop Killing Games, as well as a link to where you go to help support the Stop Killing Games initiative, because there's only a little bit of time left for the most important parts of it now that it's at the end. So if you know what the movement is and want to support it but didn't know where, the resources are in the description.
Wait, this is not the video. Watch the next one about Pirate. This one is explaining what Stop Killing Games is. Okay, should we watch the Stop Killing Games or the Pirate one? Oh, Pirate Software Situation. What is this?
I have no doubt most of you have noticed over the last 10 or 11 months I've been a lot happier. Glowing, really, radiant. You can tell probably just from my voice alone and this striking smile. So what is the secret to this newfound happiness of mine? The one trick doctors
the
don't
cheeky
want
soap?
you to know? I haven't been online as much. I've been going outside far more frequently, spending time in the real world.
Okay.
And as such, I'm sure many of you have noticed over the last 10 or 11 months, internet drama hasn't been a huge focal point of the channel because I haven't seen a whole bunch of it. I haven't kept up with the vast majority of it. And of course, occasionally I've still dipped my tootsies in some of it, like if there's something particularly wacky going on, and I still cover like news and crazy shit going on with aliens and all of that kind of thing, or if there's like a really cringe, prankster that got arrested or something, I'll still talk about that. But it's not like a fixation for me like it used to be over the last few years, where I was covering any and all internet creator space hoopla. And I want to keep it that way. I'm having a lot more fun not doing that. That being said, there is something that has unfolded here that's like the John Wick killing the dog moment that's bringing me back, just very temporarily. And it's Pirate Software. Yesterday I talked about Stop Killing Games. And there's no way to talk about Stop Killing Games without also mentioning Pirate Software because of the profound effect he has had on that initiative in its demise. I say demise, but it's not actually fully cooked, but it has been on life support, and Pirate Software...
Is Pirate Software against Stop Killing Games? Is that what he's saying?
Software did play a big role in that because of 2 videos he made, as well as a stream, shitting all over it. And that's not even doing it justice. He was full-blown tooting on this. He was shitting on it with some fart on top.
Wait, so am I a bad person that I'm saying this about Stop Killing Games as well? Guys, I was completely kidding. We need to absolutely stop killing games. Are you serious? Now that I've been informed with more information, absolutely, I do not agree with the killing of games.
And a lot of what
Seriously.
he was saying about Stop Killing Games wasn't accurate. It was a misrepresentation of the initiative. And the guy behind it, the guy spearheading it, Ross, finally set the record straight on a lot of the misconceptions that Pirate Software helped to put out there and kind of exacerbate these thought processes that just weren't accurate for what the initiative was actually aiming to do. He finally set the record straight, and I, of course, wanted to talk about it as someone who does actually care about it. Now, as I've said, I've been a little more off the grid. I bought a fucking farm, so I've been, living off the Lord's land recently, and I've missed a lot of the internet happenings. So Pirate Software's previous anime arcs of drama, like with World of Warcraft, and the one after that, 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 I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to. I only got little tiddlywinks, little morsels of lore about it in a few clips, so I never really even understood what was going on there. So Pirate Software's response to everything that happened yesterday really caught me by surprise. That was a subversion of my expectations bigger than Game of Thrones Season 8.
Yeah, Hutcher, I did. I think it's really hilarious to me that that entire community is so butt mad at me for putting out a video 10 months ago about their stuff and then not being refuted, and now it's my fault that everything is going wrong for them.
I cannot believe his ego. His ego is so out of control, I feel like he's only a week or two away from exclusively referring to himself in third person, like stone cold fucking Steve Austin.
What does that mean?
And that's the truth, because Pirate Software said so. Some shit like that. It's crazy how he's responded. The smugness is nails on a chalkboard. It just makes you feel icky listening to it. And he goes on that same talking point multiple times in the clip about how, like, oh, I guess I'm fully to blame. I guess because I made those videos 10 months ago, it's my fault entirely that this whole thing crashed and burned. Yep. Oh boy. time to play a sad song on the world's smallest violin for the Stop Killing Games movement, all because Big Bad Pirate Software took it all down by himself. Like, it's crazy. No one's saying that. Like, there is no one out there that is saying it is entirely Pirate Software's fault that Stop Killing Games hasn't been more successful in its endeavors. But there's irrefutable evidence that you had a detrimental effect, a majorly damaging effect on Stop Killing Games because of your misinformation that you spread about it in 2 videos and across all your streams, and not once have you bothered to correct that record. And he has said that it hasn't been
Yo, so where did this even come from? Stop Killing Games. Who's even talking about this? This has been around for a long time or something? Do you guys care about this? I've never heard any of you say that. Stop Killing Games. Ever. I don't even know what it is. Should we go back to the first video? Like, what's going on? I don't know what's happening. I don't even know I still don't, like, fully understand when this became a... What is this?
Feuded in 10 months? That is fish paste. That is turbo horseradish. Go to your own comment section on your videos to see everyone refuting you, as well as the innumerable other gamers and voices out there that have taken down those talking points and debunked a lot of them and proven that you just didn't understand it. And that is the big problem. No one hates Pirate Software because he doesn't agree with Stop Killing Games. The reason so many people are angry at him, myself included here, you can disagree with the movement all you want. If you don't like the initiative, I'm not your fucking dad. You make your own choices there. But the reason so many people, myself included, do not like how Pirate Software is handling all this is he is refusing, outright refusing, to just admit any level of fault, that he was wrong about anything. And that couldn't be more clear from these clips as well as his tweets that he's made. It's actually his tweets that really sent me off the fucking rails here, off my gourd. Let's start with this little nugget here that he deleted from last night.
I put out 2 videos disagreeing 10 months ago. Now the initiative failed. So why did it fail? How did it fail? The biggest game involved is The Crew from Ubisoft. All this is him saying, why is he getting a bunch of hate from 10 months old? It hasn't failed? There's 900K out of 1 mil. So if they get to 1 mil, what happens? Is there like a law or something? They have to change it if there's 1 million people who sign a paper? Why doesn't someone just make some bots? Won't be saying that, resub? Oh, the government has to review it? Imagine. Think of WoW in 3 years saying they'll no longer support the game and make it unavailable to everyone trying to still play on their account afterwards by shutting down the servers. That would never fucking happen to WoW. Ever. That's a $1 trillion company. They're not going to shut down the WoW servers. The fuck are we saying? But if it did, that would never happen. But they could? Well, I'm lost here. It's a business thing. Some companies go on. How old is The Crew? How many years has that game been out? I haven't even heard of The Crew. What even is that? Okay, now imagine it did, and then imagine it happens for single-player games. My hands are covered.
So he tweeted directly at Ross, the guy behind Stop Killing Games, talking about how he made those...
I mean, how can some people expect these games to run forever? How can that even happen? Is this nuts? Wait, what? It's like, yeah, I bought a game and I'm gonna be able to play it 20 years later. Like, what's going on? Consumer protection.
Videos 10 months ago, and since then,
how can
his
an online
community's
game
been
run
nothing but
forever?
hateful, a scourge, a fucking tyrannid threat that he must destroy. Your community is fucking rabid, and it's shit to deal with for anyone on the other side of the argument. Why do you think I haven't talked about this shit in 10 months? Why do you think we auto-mute anyone bringing it up in chat? Because it's been rage bait and shit-flinging the entire time. And just...
Imagine if you couldn't play Elden Ring offline and were forced into the online mode. They stopped the servers and now you can't play the game. Wouldn't that never is that even possible? Could that even happen? Do we own Elden Ring or no? Is it because it's on Steam? Everyone's just making hypotheticals? Yeah, none of this shit is making any sense though. They're not gonna shut down the fucking Elden Ring servers ever. Why would they shut down the Elden Ring servers? Guys, is this for these super dead games or something? I don't understand. What's happening here? What do you mean they're shutting down Elden Ring? They're gonna keep Elden Ring running forever. That's $1 trillion company. Any Steam game can be shut down at any time? I'm confused. How could they ever stop that then? What even changes? So what are they supposed to do? What's the solution? Make it work offline? Elork in the prime sub. Add an offline mode or release the server files at end of service. If you got a game on the Nintendo Wii, you can never download it again, so you bought a game that you can never play again. This is crazy. I didn't even realize this was going on in the internet world. The guy who's leading the initiative answers all this. Maybe we should have went back to the first video.
Which is hilariously hypocritical coming from Pirates.
One issue they're talking about is the fact you buy a single-player game that requires you to have active internet. Then they shut down support for the game. How are they supposed to keep supporting the game if they're not making any money? How long are we supposed to expect these people to support games that no one's playing? Is that like it's single player? Do single player games not need to be supported? I'm missing a huge part of this. Yeah, there's got to be something here that's fucking confusing. So you're saying there's games that you have to have an online requirement to play single player? God of War? So how old is the Crew game? The Tony Hawk remakes got a lot of shit for that. You need to be online to boot it. The Crew came out in 2014. It's only because there's no reason I need to be connected to the internet to play a single player only game.
Software, when in his videos and his streams, he makes it very clear and is very rude about how much he dislikes not only Ross, but the movement. And it's not like he's being very professional and polite about it, you know, buttoned up. Listen to it.
So this was my first encounter of him.
Oh shit, now this is actually really dumb. It's used car salesman garbage. This is shit. It's shit. Not only do I not want to back this, I'm going to actively tell people not to. That is awful. That is horrible goddamn direction. That's awful, dude. No. Eat my entire ass. The level of stupid that I just had to receive was like sitting on Twitter for 12 hours. This shit sucks. That's a really stupid ass move. That's an incredibly stupid ass move. I think this is ass. This is complete garbage. All of this can eat shit then. I drop the mask entirely. I have no qualms about that. They can eat my entire ass. The whole thing. That sounds stupid as shit.
Yeah, I'm sure it's Ross and his community.
The whole time he's clowning it. Wait, why was Pirate so against it? Why are we watching this fucking video? Why don't we watch the video of what Pirate said and then what the other guy... Why are we watching this? This is telling us nothing. Because he's a game developer? Do game developers lose money doing this or something? What's the angle on it?
Community that are actually the assholes here. Brother, come on, you can't possibly be calling the wambulance with a side of french fries here about people being mean to you when you are literally the one that started the shit flinging and name
That's
calling.
why he was hating
and
hard.
by the way, Ross never even addressed this for 10 months because he didn't want to dilute the initiative into just having it be boiled down to drama between creators, which I think was actually very big of him. The only reason he's talking about it now is because it's at the end of its life and so many people still don't understand it because of someone like Pirate Software
The whole idea is you don't own the games you buy. If the company doesn't want you to play it, they pretty much delete it. So you're wasting money and can't play it ever again. Stop Killing Games wants to make it so consumers own the game, then they buy the game. So why do they delete the game completely then?
Misrepresenting it, so he's finally setting the record straight there. Anyway, he did delete that tweet, but just a little while ago he made
Save
a
resources?
new
Bunch
tweet,
of
a
reasons?
very long tweet as well as a series of tweets under it in regards to this whole thing. And in all these words, all this mumbo-jumbo, not once does he say he was wrong about anything. In fact, he just continues to double down, even proudly stating he is doubling down. Wow, how incredibly noble, doubling down on things you are provably, blatantly wrong about. We don't need to hit the Jumbotron for the replay on yesterday's video going over so many of the things that he was incorrect about in regards to the initiative. But the point is, that is an issue that I really thought that he would address. Be like,
It's the Netflix model for games. Imagine if Paramount deleted your DVD. I mean, I'm not going around playing super old ass games again. I feel like I play it as much as I can when it's there.
hey, yeah, I did get this part wrong. You're right, guys. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to misrepresent it. I still don't fully agree with it, but I do recognize that I had some errors here in my coverage. That's what I was expecting. That is not what we got. And it prompted me to reach out
It's
directly
not about
to
you.
him,
I'm a
to
consumer.
talk to him, to see, like, why isn't he acknowledging that? Is there a reason? Like, what is going on there? So I did. He made it very clear he was not very happy with my coverage of Stop Killing Games, which is fine. I think that's totally fine. I'm not going to leak DMs or really go in depth on our private
This is a nice idea, but it'll never happen or else sports games would be fucked. Wait, like if 2K comes out with 2K25, can you not play 2K24 and 2K23 anymore? Or is that different?
conversation, but the point of me reaching out to him was to talk about his refusal to acknowledge that he did, maybe unintentionally, misrepresent Stop Killing Games, and it led to a just shy of 2 hours, like, circular argument that ultimately got us nowhere. He was more focused on his qualms with Stop Killing Games and really liked to challenge me to prove him wrong about some of his hang-ups with it. And when I would mention, like, the behavior aspect, like, hey, you did misrepresent it, and I'd give him a timestamp, he'd then instead say how I'm wrong for thinking that he misrepresented
overall,
it. We got
on the
nowhere.
Stop Killing
so
Games,
I want to just
majority
publicly
of
say
guys
this
say
again.
we should stop
There
killing
are plenty
games.
of things you can disagree with when it comes to the Stop Killing Games initiative. I'll put links to it if you want to learn more
That's
about
what
it. You can
most
form your
people
own
have
opinions
said.
on it if you want to support it. If you don't like it, that's fine. That's super normal. And I didn't reach out to try and champion that Pirate Software should become, you know, a huge ambassador of Stop Killing Games, you know, out there on the fucking front lines fighting for it. It had nothing to do with that. It was simply about the misunderstanding that he showcased, maybe unintentionally, and the misrepresentation of it that he broadcast. Again, maybe unintentionally. Which has, in turn, over the course of 10 months, misled people on what the fuck Stop Killing Games even is in the first place. Which I found to be a problem because he's never even acknowledged that as something that has happened. And because he refuses to acknowledge that, and anyone that even, like, tiptoes around that subject, he kind of treats as though they're fucking idiots, like me, for thinking that he's misrepresented something. Now, he did just post a tweet where he said he talked to me and Josh Strife-Hayes, and in that tweet, this will prove how useless our conversation was, unfortunately, there's not a single peep about...
Movements like this showcase to me how little the general public understands about game development, modern gaming architecture, and online games as a whole. That's why I put videos out poking holes in this, because it sets that entire conversation back to the Stone Age in terms of developer/player understanding. Making shit is hard. Making shit when people think it's easy is harder. If you want all games to be left in a functional, playable state, then you need to listen to people when they talk about how infeasible that will be in a lot of situations, since this is the initiative's primary goal as listed. So he's saying it's very difficult to keep these games from being killed.
Misrepresenting what Stop Killing Games was about. It's more so about how the public just doesn't understand game development, and it kind of reads to me like we're all just too stupid to understand it from his side of things. Our conversation basically amounted to toilet paper, unfortunately. Again, I was focused on, you have done this, maybe unintentionally, you should at least say that you have, or, like, you know, are you aware that you did this? And then it became more of like, nope, I didn't. You're wrong. And then he uses our conversation at the start of this for something that was not even the focus. I was not there to try and convince him to be part of Stop Killing Games. I don't think we made any ground on, like, his perspective versus mine on Stop Killing Games. He has some qualms about how difficult it would be in certain cases. I agree with that, for sure. I still think overall Stop Killing Games is a net positive for the gaming industry, where something desperately needs to change with a lot of these awful practices. But for the 10 millionth time in the last 2.5 hours, it was just about him having this awareness that his coverage did mislead people, and that he, maybe not maliciously or anything, misunderstood or misrepresented Stop Killing Games in numerous instances. And the way that he talked about Ross was unacceptable. That at least made it into the tweet there about the way he talked about Ross being like a fucking used car salesman type deal, and like calling everything about it ass. He at least recognized that that was too harsh. So he gave a quick I'm sorry for that, which is good. I do appreciate that, and I'm sure Ross will appreciate that as well, I imagine. But I still wanted to make this video after the conversation because I just really do not understand, I truly cannot wrap my head around why he fights tooth and nail coming for throats for anyone that tries to mention that there was misrepresentation in his coverage of the Stop Killing Games initiative. He is so hell-bent on proving he's right and everyone else is wrong that's saying these things. I just don't get it. He's just treating it like he's got the mega mind, once-in-a-generation galaxy brain that no...
Okay, guys, this video was terrible. I don't understand. This is so troll. So what's gonna happen? Is the movement gonna succeed? Can someone sum this shit up? I didn't even know this is going on in the internet world. Worst meal video this year. We could have at least watched the pirate perspective of him freaking out, or the other guy explaining what it is. This is some in-between thing that doesn't explain any of it. There's another guy talking about Stop Killing Games.